I'm the comedian in the group. I'm Margaret Perot, the president and CEO of the Batavia Chamber. Good morning. Thank you for coming. We're so excited about this new series that we're offering. It is called Strong Foundations. It's services to help small businesses delve into certain topics that they may need advanced information on. So this is our first on social media. Following this in the spring, we'll have one on AI. We're working with Wabanzi expert in AI for that one. And then in the fall, we'll do one on HR. So topics we've heard that you guys may have additional questions. We've created this new program to be a little bit different because as you guys have your laptops and you're signing in, this is a hands-on one, because I know a lot of times we go to some of these presentations, get good information, and come home and can't put it into effect. So we're trying to work on that and make it user-friendly and something you could actually walk away with. So I'm so excited to introduce Jamie Sam and Lisa Kovu of Start Something Studios. Start Something Studios is located, studio, not studios. They have one studio. They help small businesses with entrepreneurship, information they need, consulting, the whole gamut of services. So Jamie and Lisa were kind enough to be willing to present in-depth information for you on social media. So welcome, and I'll turn it over to you, Jamie.
All right, awesome. Do I need to use this, or can I just talk?
You just talk.
Is it better for recording? I can just talk. Okay. If you can't hear me, let me know.
I can hear you.
You can too, Margaret. All right, welcome everyone. Everybody seems wide awake for 8 o'clock in the morning. I appreciate it. At least it sounds wide awake for 8 o'clock in the morning. So, as Margaret mentioned, we are digging into different aspects of social media over the next 3 months, right? You don't have to come to all of them, but it's exciting if you do. I'm going to talk just a little bit about shifting our mindset on our social media, because we all know that social media can be very overwhelming for us. And then after I'm done just kind of presenting on that, Lisa's going to show us how to put some of those things into action. And that's what, if you brought your computers or your tablets or whatever you use your social media on, you can do that yourself. So at any point, if you want to log into the free Wi-Fi that the library has, just feel free to do that. We'll remind you again once Lisa's up here. And then you can put some of those into action. Otherwise, just take good notes so when you go home, you can also implement some of those things for your business. So we're calling this Create Once. I don't need that mouse. Stop touching things that I don't need to touch. Create Once and Show Up Calmly, a simple guide to consistent social media. So today we're talking about, again, shifting your mindset and not getting too stressed out about social media, because we know it stresses everybody out, right? So, just a quick introduction. Lisa is my partner here. She is the co-founder of Start Something Studio. Brief introduction of Lisa. She spent more than 13 years, it's probably more like 15 now, doing digital strategy and content, web development. She started as an early blogger and freelance writer for outlets like Chicago Tribune, US News, and World Report, and later transitioned into helping entrepreneurs build strong strategic online presences through websites, SEO, and social media. Before launching our business, Lisa worked in education as the Associate Dean of Admissions and holds a master's degree in public education. She lives in Geneva with her family and is super passionate about helping small business owners build sustainable businesses, often working late nights on all these kind of things that we're going to talk about, and from the carpool line. And then I am Jamie Sam. Also co-founder, the other founder of Start Something Studio, and a lifelong advocate for small businesses and community growth. After years of working in hospitality in Chicago, I returned back here to Batavia and started Bulldog Plumbing with my husband. So we've been in business since 2011, growing it into a trusted local business and navigating all these tips in real life. So that's why I feel passionate about sharing that with other businesses. I also served the community as Batavia Alderman, later as the Executive Director of Batavia Main Street, focusing on downtown revitalization and helping small businesses within our own community. So that kind of all passionately led to Lisa and I starting Start Something, helping businesses, bringing real world experience, entrepreneurship experience, civic experience to help all of us, right? Our team, really quick. We have a great team. Lisa and I are the two main components in the studio all the time. But if you work with us on different levels, you might work with some of our teams. We have Ellen, Heather, and Becky. We do different things, as Margaret mentioned. So we have a membership for businesses. nonprofits, whoever wants to join us, just wants community building, some honest conversation at the table, a place to talk about their business, learn and grow. But we also do services like web design, SEO, social media management, and then social media training, Canva training, things like that. So these ladies help us do all of that for people. And as I mentioned, this is kind of just our story, right? But the biggest thing is our mission of Start Something Studios is to move small businesses forward through honest, expert connections, advice, and assistance. And we do a lot of that by bringing people together. We think that's so important. So a room like this, of all like-minded people, you're all kind of in the same boat. While your businesses are different, you're all navigating the same things, and that's what we want to do, is bring people together for that. So now let's get into the meat of things. All right, so first, who here runs social media for their business or organization? Raise your hand. All right, those of you who don't, you just think it's fun to learn about social media. All right. Who here loves creating social media and spending their time figuring it out? Right? Okay, we got two. Anybody else? Okay, this lovely room goes silent. Okay, you do. Well, you've got Highland cows, so how fun is that, right?
I swear I'm on there
Okay,
like
if
20
we all
times a
had
day.
Highland cows, we'd also like making social media.
Yes.
I feel. And then who here currently uses Canva Pro? All right, that's good, good. And if you don't use Canva Pro, what do you use? Just call it out.
The Adobe Suite.
Adobe Suite.
I use CapCut.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were
Oh.
signaling. I don't know what this one is. Okay. All right, well that helps us a little bit because we are going to focus today mostly on Canva. Now Canva, you can have two different types, and Lisa might talk about this a little bit more. There's a free version and then there's the pro version. Everything she shows us how to do is going to be on the pro. They're going to be pieces of the puzzle that you need that extra access to, some of them, right? That you need extra access to. So we recommend Canva Pro for sure. It's affordable for small businesses. Adobe Suite's awesome too. But in this, the things we're going to talk about are mostly through that. So as we saw, while a lot of you guys do manage social media, a lot of you don't love managing the social media, right? So why does social media feel so hard? So we're going to talk about that. So today isn't about posting more or going viral or having to follow all the trends. It's more about figuring out sustainable ways for you to not despise doing the social media anymore and actually making it work for your business, right? So a lot of people feel like we've got some right here, right? You don't know what to post. You don't have the time. All of a sudden you stop posting and it's hard to get back in the groove of posting. It's been weeks or months or whatever since you posted last. It feels chaotic. You don't have like a plan or a method with your social media, so it's just kind of all over the place, right? Now this, I feel like I saw some nods. I feel like most of us resonate with some of those, right? And it makes it hard. And I think most small business owners do feel this way because small business owners and nonprofit leaders, I'm going to just lump you guys together because you're not just doing one job. Most of us don't just have one job. That one job isn't social media. I guess I could ask that. How many of you who manage social media for your business or organization also have other jobs in that business? Yeah, everybody, right? So that's why it's so hard. It's just another piece of the puzzle, and that doesn't tend to be the piece that you got into the business or the organization to do, right? You probably got in there because you have a passion for something else or you're really good at something and that just got thrown on your plate and we have to do it, right? So it feels hard mostly because there's no systems. Not because you're lazy or uncreative or bad at marketing. I mean, you might be, but we're going to hope that you can use some of these resources to fix that, right? So Lisa and I, this year, working with a lot of small businesses, what we saw in 2025 is that business owners and nonprofit leaders were exhausted. Their schedule was crazy and overburdened, that they weren't feeling like they could fit other things into it. They didn't really have organization or structure to their schedule. So this goes beyond just social media. This goes to, we host a lot of networking events. Small business owners want networking and community and things like that, but they can't fit certain things into their schedule because they've already got all this other stuff piled up here, right? So we decided that our theme for the year was going to be rest and focusing on a calmer way to create a sustainable business and business model, as well as for your real life, right? Because they kind of go hand in hand, especially if you're a small business owner, they intertwine a lot. So just walking through this really quick. Our REST has 2 S's. We know we don't know how to spell, but we did it intentionally because they're both really important, right? So REST, clear thinking, clarity, clarity, so that you're not consistently reacting to things. You're planning ahead of time. Efficiency, less friction. As it says here, fewer steps. Creating less of a barrier for you to accomplish the things you need to accomplish. Systems. The big one there is consistency, and it's consistency, not constant. And I think we'll talk a little bit about that, because I think a lot of times people confuse the two because they're very similar, right? And then support, so that's why we have the 2 S's, because systems are really important, but then support. You can't do it alone, right? Some of us are solopreneurs, so we feel like we're doing it alone, but you always need to find those other people at the table so that you can work with them, whether it's a business partner, whether it's a networking group, whether it's an organization like ours, start something where you can sit at the table with us, because our spouses, our best friends don't always want to hear about our business and our organizations. They want to talk to us about other things, right? And then treasury, that one's smarter use of your time and money, because we do see a lot of small businesses getting a little messy there. So those are the key factors for us for this year. Now today we're mostly talking about efficiency and systems, right? I missed my sheets. There we go. All right, reframing consistency. So as I mentioned, consistency versus constant. And the thing that pops into my head is small business hours. And we were talking about this morning a little bit, but when we started the boardwalk shops, one of the big things we talked about there was wanting consistency in hours, because you want that same opening time, that same ending time. You don't want a customer to show up and you're not open, right? So you want that constant open hours. Everybody knows it, right? Now that's not what we're talking about here with social media. You don't have to be posting every single day, 3 times a day, all of that. It's not being constant, it's being consistent, where they know that if they show up, you're gonna have been present, right? It doesn't mean daily posting necessarily. So it's shifting that mindset a little bit. So really what we're talking about consistency being is a consistent message, consistent presence, and consistent effort. Not daily posting and not chasing those trends, right? So we're gonna dig into that. Lisa will show a little bit about being consistent with your brand, showing up so that people know it's you, all of those things, and she'll show you easy ways to do that. So again, I'm just gonna continue a couple times to give permission to, while trends are fun, most of you who are here are very local, right? You're local businesses, local nonprofits. So you're not looking to capture those clients in New York or somewhere else, right? Going viral wouldn't do much for you unless it was a local thing, right? And it's not bad. It's just that's not what you need to strive for. You don't need to be thinking that you need to be dancing around a room in a reel to go viral, right? You need to do what you're able to do and what you're consistently going to do. The create once philosophy. So again, we'll dig into this as a little bit in our interactive. Create once and reuse everywhere, okay? So one idea that you have for a post can become so many different things, right? You can reuse that. Let's say you write an email newsletter, okay? You can reuse bits and pieces of that email newsletter as a post, as probably 5 posts, right? Because I don't know too many people whose email newsletter is 1 paragraph. A lot of times you have 6 different things, or if you're the chamber, you have 25,000 different things in your email. We love it because then we know what's going on, right? But what you do really well, Patty, is Shirley's got the email, right? You do the email?
Not anymore.
Oh,
Patty
okay.
does.
Patty does the email. And then Patty, I was gonna say Shirley does that, and then Patty, but either way.
Yep.
You take that email and you break it out, and now that's a bunch of social media posts, right? You're not having to stress and recreate the wheel. You're using content you already have to create content elsewhere, right? So a post, a story, a reel, an email, graphics for later. You repurpose that. You can even grab those images that you used in your email newsletter and use those on social. Now, do you want to change them up and have the look and feel be different sometimes too? Yes. But if this is what works for you and gets you to do it, then do that, right? This is that friction piece. Oh, what am I doing? That's not what I'm doing. Hold on. Whole piece. I'm going off. I'm just talking, but I lost my page 4. There we go. Let's see, what else? I think that one. No. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So yeah, just remember that one good idea can live in multiple places. You don't, oh, and then the other piece that I wanted to emphasize there, that's what I wanted to get to, is that remember, especially on social media, really anywhere, while you think you might be posting the same thing a lot or things a lot, and everybody that follows you sees it, we all know that's not true. Do you see everything that everybody you follow posts? No. So one of the biggest things that we share with our clients is to go back and reuse your content. If it's something that you used months ago, a year ago, schedule those and get those back out. That's one of the easiest things to have that consistent, those consistent pieces that don't burden you, is to schedule those. If you have some great posts that talk about your services, why not schedule those one a month? The same people aren't going to see them, and if they do, they probably forgot they saw it before. Honestly, do you remember everything you saw on social media? No, we just do this, right? So we're not remembering. So keep that in mind, because I think we get so caught up in having to have new content as opposed to using good content we've created that still shares our message and our brand and is consistent with all of the things that we want to get out there. Now a little bit about Canva, because that's what we're talking about today, or that's what we're going to be doing some interactive in. Why Canva helps, because Canva reduces friction, right? So it's not about being a designer. You don't have to be a designer to use it. That's why it's a nice tool. Designers probably don't like it, but it makes it easy for an everyday person who has to manage social media and images for a business or organization, right? So again, that's about removing the friction for you. The pieces that it really helps with, right? Less design overwhelm. We all know that we've got something we have to create, and we stare at that screen, and we're like, what the heck do we do? What kind of image do we create for this? I don't know the visual. Canva has templates. Now, you want to scroll through them, you want to adjust them to your brand, and Lisa will talk about some of that, because you don't want your post being a cookie cutter image from Canva, and then your buddy's business has the exact same cookie cutter image from Canva, and now you don't know whose is what, right? And that's a lot of the brand kit we're going to go through and talking about making sure that your colors, your logo, all that kind of stuff shines through so people know it's your business. But it's a great launch place, right? In 2-3 months, the Chamber is going to be doing the AI series, and that's another piece of the puzzle, using those things to help launch your ideas, and then you put your tone and story and character of your business or your message into those things. But sometimes we get so stuck that now we have these awesome tools that can help us get unstuck, right? It helps make faster decisions because you've got those kind of things there. You could type in to the area if you want to design a certain style of post. It'll give you ideas and suggestions, right? And after Lisa shows us how to do the brand kit, everything can be on brand. It's very, very simple, right? So all of that will already be in your Canva account. So when your brand lives in Canva, it's someone else helping you do your design in your business, right? You also can't have add other people to your team. So then you already have all of that stuff in your kit, and it's that much easier to have other people help you. You don't have to be checking, making sure they're staying on brand with you, right? So brand consistency. This is all about like the energy you have to put into the post. That's what we're talking about here. Now, while yes, it is about aesthetics, when you talk about brand consistency, by having those colors that you know you use, the verbiage that you know you use, your logo, the message, the feel, the vibe, all of that you know you use, it's a lot less questions for you when you're having to figure out what you're posting, right? You just know you're staying in that. You're not going to have to make all these other decisions and recreate the wheel. You've got it somewhat created for you, right? And then the biggest piece of that is that your audience recognizes you. As I mentioned, if you pick a Canva template and don't adjust anything except for put your verbiage in it, and then so does your friend, now nobody knows whose business is what, and that looks horrible. And I feel like we've all seen that on social media, right? We're all seeing like, oh, they use the same template, and now I don't know which event is which, right? So Canva helps you to make that easy for you as someone who isn't a designer, who has a million other jobs in your business, right? Templates. Just briefly, we're not gonna dig too much into templates. We have some similar things, but with templates in Canva, you can create plug and play templates for yourself, right? So you see these when people do, a great post for businesses is review posts, right? So you create a review post for your or a template for your review post, Then when you get another good 5-star review, plug that review in. Maybe you adjust the name of who did that post or who did the review. Maybe you change the backdrop a little bit if you want it to look different, but a lot of businesses just keep it 100% consistent, right? So you can do that with a million different things. You don't need 30 different templates either. Create a couple good ones for reviews or education, quotes, any of those types of posts that you can rotate into your posting. And then it takes that time and energy out. You don't have to be stressing out about thinking and planning what you're going to post. Let's see. All right, what to post when you're stuck? Because we all get stuck. So again, thinking about the consistency, the things that take the guesswork out of it for us, that make it easy when we sit down to the table, because I all know we have scheduled time that we sit down, right? Monday morning at 10 a.m. for 2 hours is when we all schedule our social media, right? And design it. Mm-hmm. Yep. We're not going to talk about that today, but we recommend it. But I know it's hard. But a couple things to keep in mind as good pillars, right? So that you're going back and thinking about, okay, here's the themes, right? So we've got our brand kit, we've got colors, we've got images, we've got things that we know things can look like. Now what the heck are we going to talk about, right? So 4 examples of good pillars: education, right? Because as a business owner and organization, you always need to be letting your potential audience know what you and your business do, what you and your organization do, how they can interact with you, right? So you want to be helpful, you want to give them tips, explanations, insights, hook them, educate them, teach them how they can work with you. Connection, right? So this is a big one. People want to see behind the scenes stories. They want to see that personal piece of the organization and the business. So stories is a great place to use this in. You can just do those little clips and things to show what you're doing that day, where you're at, any of those kind of things. But also on your feed, you want it to be real. You don't want it to be always a designed, while we're talking about Canva, you don't always want it to be a designed image in Canva, right? We met with a business just the other day, and currently her entire feed, it's a very small business, a business multiple people in our area have. She's a bread baker. And right now, while her designs are fun and funky and kind of stand out, you don't see her at all as you scroll through her page. So the humanness, the person, the connection isn't there, right? So we talked a lot about sharing her story and digging into that. So that's kind of going to be where we're working with her right now. Because that's really important. People need to see that. That's how those are the people that actually connect with your social media. Then promote, right? So this, beyond the education of how people can work with you, exactly what you do, you're promoting the offers and services and how people can actually work with you, right? It doesn't have to be a special. It doesn't have to be a discount. It doesn't have to be a sale. Just tell them how they can sign up, how they can make a purchase, how they can engage with you, how they can make a donation, any of those kind of things, right? And then reassure them, right? So remind them that you still exist. Sometimes we think, again, as I mentioned, like you think everybody sees your post, so you can't reuse that post. People forget about us, right? This one's a little bit different unless it is your business, but yeah, you can share on your own personal page too, but we talked a lot about, even on your personal social media, every once in a while talking about whatever your business is or the organization you work for, because people forget who and what you do. You know, they might even see you all the time, but they don't associate you with your business necessarily. So remind them. A couple of years ago, I had posted, because I had seen it somewhere, and it was like, I want all my Facebook friends to tell me what they do for a living, and it was insane, the fact that I don't know what some of my friends do for a living, you know? And like, Facebook friends, yes, but even people that I see on a regular basis in real life, I was like, that's what they do? I had no idea. And because then people can share it, right? And that connectivity and all of that. So keep that in mind. Just make sure that you're reminding people that you are there, that your organization is still active, that your business is still something that they can engage with. Social media as a system. Okay, so again, social media feels like a task to a lot of us right now. You just need to put the systems in place to make it become just another part of your every week. That's why I mentioned the Monday 10 a.m. for 2 hours. That's your creating and scheduling time. Again, I know that's really hard to do it, but when you schedule it like that, you kind of remove the need for motivation, right? You kind of take that, you don't have to get motivated to be creative. You just know that this is the time that you create and design and schedule. And by having the brands in place, having some of the pillars in place where you know, okay, I'm gonna post on Mondays, I educate my audience on Wednesdays, I share my services, and on Fridays I do something, you know that, so now you're taking all of those bits and pieces where you have to be overly creative out, and you're making it simple for yourself to do it. You're creating a system that will work, it's predictable, instead of you just randomly, whenever you have time, quickly whipping something up and creating it, right? A simple weekly rhythm. So again, and I mentioned this at the beginning, I think a lot of people think, well, I need to post on social media every day, or 5 times a day, or every platform, or all of these different things, right? And then what do? Maybe you don't do anything, maybe then you don't post at all, or maybe you, again, randomly post, right? So a good rhythm, a good plan, as I just mentioned, is like 3 posts a week, right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if that's simple to you. You can post on the weekends, you always can. It's just sometimes if you post on times where your business isn't open, or people aren't available to use your services, then they might contact you on that day and then it doesn't work out. So suggestions, these are just suggestions. Educational post, a connection post, and a visibility or reminder post, right? So it's a way for you to just have a simple plan. Those are 3 suggestions, get in that routine where those are there. One of the other things, it really is enough. You don't have to have a Monday through Friday post. So keep that in your mind. If you can only do 2 posts a week, that's okay too. Do what you can do and what you can do consistently, right? It's better than having 1,000 posts for 2 weeks and then you go radio silent for 2 months, right? Because some people do that, where you're hardcore, you're doing great, and then, so if you can get that consistency going, you're in a much better place. A lot of businesses get stuck, right? So thinking about perfection, I think, is the biggest one. A lot of small business owners, I think, are perfectionists. We're creatives. We've got a lot going on. If you wait for the post to be perfect, if you wait for the verbiage to be perfect, now, yes, edit your posts. You should have Grammarly installed on your computer so that you're not messing everything up all the time. Check things. But perfection isn't necessary. It's better to get something out than to wait and wait and wait. You see people say, we know that reels aren't fun, but reels and videos do well on social media, right? We're not going to talk about those today because that's a whole different mindset and mess. But one of the things with reels is a lot of people will be like, oh, well, I started it, I recorded all this stuff, but I just can't get it perfect, so that it just sits and all that content sits in your phone forever and ever and ever, and then you never produce it because you wanted it all to turn out perfectly. Well, it's probably not going to unless you're actually going to allocate a bunch of hours a day to have it all perfect. So just do it. Just get it done and get it out. It goes back to part of that humanness, is that people are looking at your business and they don't expect perfection. They expect real, and we're seeing that more and more. How many times recently have we had people come in and they're talking about this push toward analog and, with the younger generation, and less of the production and the produced piece, right? So people don't want to see just everything heavily curated and perfect. They want to see the real you, your real business, your real organization behind the scenes. Again, you can have those perfectly curated posts mixed in with those that are just regular everyday posts. Overthinking captions gets people stuck a lot. Again, this is one I'm gonna say AI again. Go have it help you start. Again, with AI, you always need to check everything. You don't want to just use anything verbatim from AI, but let it help you be a launch point. If you're stuck on something, needing some ideas, let that help guide you. Make sure you go and put all of your voice, your brand voice, everything in it. But if you're stuck, let it help you. Chasing trends, mentioned this much times. If you want to do it, if it's fun for you, do it. Why not? But if it's not, if that's what's stressing you out to the point where you're not posting, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then comparing to big brands, right? We can't have Haley B's Bakery comparing herself to Crumble Cookie. Crumble Cookie has a marketing team. They have bazillions of dollars to market their cookies. Haley's in downtown Batavia, she's a shop of one, right? So we don't want you going, well, they do this, they post 20,000 times a day, they rotate their flavors every week, they do this and this and this, and I should do that. Don't worry what they're doing. Yeah, if you get good ideas from them, go for it, but do not compare yourself and get stuck in that. Again, back to this, done is better than perfect. All of these things I've already kind of touched on, but I just feel it's so important for people to remember that. Do not get hung up on being perfect. People trust real over fake. How many of us are seeing all these crazy AI videos where you're like, is that a real person? Is that a real 1-year-old speaking like a 25-year-old to a mother? Like that is the weirdest thing to watch. I don't like it one bit. It's super creepy and it bothers me so much. So you don't trust it. We're starting to distrust what we physically see and hear, right? So the more real you can be, I just saw something the other day and like, I know a lot of people don't like live videos or videos of their faces, but the more you and real you can be and the more in front, people trust that. They see the humans that they can see in real life and they trust that and they believe that. So keep that in your mind. So when the system works, you will dread doing social media less. You'll have those clear next steps because you have things kind of planned out in an order that you know you need to do. And you're not starting from scratch every single time, right? Because you either created your brand kit, you've created templates, you've created a plan for you to progress instead of getting stuck in every time you sit down at the table, it's like starting over. You don't want that, right? So now, if anybody has any questions about any of that, I'm here for that. But we're going to transition into the hands-on time. So Lisa's going to go over a couple things that you guys can hopefully take back and actually use in your social media using Canva to better your businesses. So thank you.
Okay, if you want to log into Canva and you didn't already, the Batavia, wherever we are, Batavia Public Library, internet, you can log on for free. It's just, the network is Batavia Public Library. You don't need a password, so you can do that now. I'm going to pull something up here fast.
Lisa, will you walk us through that to get on the Wi-Fi?
I can show you on mine, the Wi-Fi buttons at the top, and then you're just going to look for the Batavia Public Library network. You can see over there in the top corner, unfortunately on a Windows computer, it's a little different.
Yeah, it's on the
Right.
bottom.
Is anybody not on? Okay.
So the first thing, and I'm going to be doing all this live with you now, so fingers crossed. But the first thing I want to show you before we kind of dig into the action thing is a little bit of what Jamie talked about, and what I'm going to talk about now is consistency in your brand. So this is our Instagram feed, and the one thing you'll notice probably is there are lots of colors. These are all our brand colors, and that way we don't always use all the colors all the time, but we do use a lot of them. And that way, my favorite color we use here is kind of this obnoxious fuchsia color. Anytime you see a post on social media, I've probably done this one because I like that color. But that's our color, so you're going to see this post and you're going to know it's Start Something Studio if you follow our stuff and see it regularly. So that's the goal. You don't need a perfectly curated feed. This looks like a hot mess, but you see the colors, and when you're scrolling, you're probably going to know that it is ours. So, how many of you, I know we're going to talk about Canva, all of this will be in Canva from here on out. How many of you have already set up a brand kit in Canva? Perfect, we're going to do it now. I'm really glad most of you haven't, otherwise we would have skipped this part. So what a brand kit is, and this is a pro feature. So it's one of, everything I'm going to show you is actually a pro feature, but it's one of the absolute best parts of Canva if you ask me. So a brand kit allows you to store everything related to your brand in one place. So this is actually our brand kit. So what we have here, if we click through, I've uploaded all of the logos we can use on social media. here we can see, here's our color palette. So when I say that obnoxious pink, it's right there front and center, but we use all of these colors here. You can upload the fonts that you like to use. And you can use Canva fonts, or you can actually upload fonts you get from other places. So right now I'm just showing you ours, and then I'll show you how to get in here so we can build one together. We're gonna build one for the chamber.
Ooh.
So one of our fonts here, this cursive that's actually in our logo, the one that says section header, is a custom font that I uploaded. Canva has 1 million fonts, that's great. Kind of what Jamie was saying though is Canva stuff, it can start to look all the same, especially like right now if you see our subheading font here. That's a really big font on Canva, it's at the top of the list all the time, everybody's using this font. So uploading your fonts instead of following the Canva trends allows you to look a little different, so you can upload your fonts. Brand voice, we're not using this because it's just Jamie and I. But the brand voice allows you to upload a document. So I was thinking, where would this be helpful? And I was thinking about Batavia Public Schools, right? There are things that they would say specifically one way. Maybe one day Holly's not doing social media, they have someone else in. Instead of Holly having to pass along all this knowledge, you know, we always say we don't say us, whatever the verbiage is. You can put all that in the brand voice here. You just create a document so that whoever's doing your social media is going to follow however your company speaks. Because the way you speak is also part of the brand just as much as how everything looks. We have photos. So we upload all the photos we take here of group events. You'll see mine and Jamie's headshots. Anything we have here, we upload them in our brand kit so that when we need to go back and use them for anything, they're right there for us. So we have photos here from day one. 3.5 years ago. If we ever do a looking back, I mean everybody's looking back on 2016, but if we want to look back on 2022, we'll have those photos here. Graphics, we don't really have anything in graphics, but I will show you this where it would make more sense for like the chamber. Icons, we use these for our favicons that are on our website. But maybe you've worked with a designer and you had special social media icons designed just for your company. Maybe you put those sorts of things in here. So now we are going to actually build a brand kit. You can build your own, you can watch me do it. I am going to do it a little fast because we don't have a ton of time here, but we will get through one quickly. So what you're going to do when you log into Canva is on the left side of the screen. If you have Pro, there is going to be a little button that says brand. It's over, I don't know how to circle it to make it bigger, but it's over here in the left-hand sidebar. So when you click on that, again, it's going to open, this is opening to ours. But there is an option to create new brand kit. So you're going to name it whatever your company name is.
I'm just going to close the blinds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for this, we're going to name it Batavia Chamber, right? Okay, so now this is nice. You can upload your website and it can pull things for you, but we're not going to upload the website right here. We're just going to show you a couple of things. So when you click here in logos, it just says add logos. Okay, so I already downloaded all of this from the Batavia website. So we use the main logo, we'll keep it in there. It uploads it quickly and now it's going to be stored here forever. Now we're going to go to colors. Oh. It stole the color right there from the logo we uploaded, which is a nice new feature, which makes that easy. But I do want to show you real fast another tip I have. Usually when you work with a designer, if your organization worked with a logo designer or any sort of graphics person, they will give you a list of your brand colors, right? They're always going to be, maybe they're not always, they should be pretty specific. So like I showed you, we have our 7 colors we use. BPS has their specific colors. Colors are important to let people know your brand. But let's say you have a bad designer who didn't give you your colors. What you can do, so here I am on the Chamber website. There are tools, and I've installed one here on my computer. It's a color dropper, and all browsers allow you to upload extensions. This is just a Chrome extension called a color dropper. And what you can do is, on any website, anywhere, you can just, it'll just let you pick a color. Like maybe we like the color of that wood floor, we click it, and it's gonna give us our hex code here, right? Our hex code is the specific color you're looking for. So that's what, if you've worked with a designer, the designer will give you all of your colors in hex codes, usually. But if you ever need to steal them, and I've worked with plenty of companies who don't know their hex codes, don't feel bad if you don't, you can go in and steal them this way. So we have our hex code here from the ground floor. We are going to go back to our brand kit, and then we can just add a new color. We enter the hex code there, and we're good to go. So now we've added this brown color to our Chamber brand kit. Fonts we talked about, I'm not going to show you a ton here. Title, though, as you go through, is usually the font you're going to use the most. It's going to be your big font. If you're on a website, it's your header font. So again, you can come through here, you can choose any font that Canva already has in there. You can say, my main font size is going to be 104, and I'm going to use this font. You can choose a new one for each option here. And like I said, my favorite thing is that you can upload a font here. So you can upload any custom fonts. There are lots of websites where you can download free fonts, so you don't necessarily have to pay for expensive fonts. The free ones work great. I'm pretty sure the cursive one that I uploaded was a free font. And the only reason I did that was because it was unique to us, but of course other people are using it. Brand voice, again, I'm not going to go through this, but it can be a great tool with large organizations or organizations where there will be turnover in who's doing the social media. Photos, again, you can add any photos here. And the reason this is nice is just because you have them. So let's add this photo here of the Chamber ladies that I found on Google. Now this is a great one because monthly or whenever you have the take us out to lunch posts, and maybe you want to include that on every post. Well, we've saved it to your brand kit here, so anytime you need the 3 of you, it's going to be right there, so you can do one click and put it on a post. Okay? Graphics, icons, all the same thing. So setting up your brand kit, it's going to take a little bit up front. It's going to save you so much time later. Like I said, my obnoxious pink color, if I had to look up that hex code every time I used it, I'd drive myself crazy, but because it's in the brand kit and we do most of our stuff here in Canva, it is always right there for me to grab. So we are going to move on from that, and I want to talk about how many of you have used the bulk create feature in Canva. Oh, cool. All right, you guys will probably love this. It is my favorite feature. So one thing I want to show you again here on our social media is, like Jamie was saying, keeping up with social media is not easy. We do this for a living and we get tired of it. If you scroll back a couple of months, we rarely posted. Everything that was posted was already there because I'd scheduled it to repeat and run. This isn't easy. It's not always fun. It is work. But you can use the bulk create feature to create posts basically for a year. So over the holiday break, we took some time off, and Jamie says, do things on Monday mornings. I need to cram and do it all in one day kind of person. So then I cannot think about it. So we had a couple weeks off. I took one day and I created all of these Sunday affirmations for small business owners, and I scheduled them to post every Sunday for the entire year. Now, if I'd broken this out and done it one at a time, it would have taken a really long time. But with the tool I'm going to show you, it's not going to take very long at all. So you could do a whole year's worth of posts easily in half a day. So what we're going to do, and again, we have an event coming up next Tuesday. So what I'm going to walk you through is how I made these for all of our speakers in 5 minutes last night. Right, different photos, different titles, what they will be speaking on. So we're going to do this now. The first tool, so there are, obviously I'm doing this for a speaker, but I showed you my Sunday affirmations. You could do this, like Jamie said, with Google reviews, having review posts that post regularly. It could be quotes about things related to your field. You can bulk create anything. So again, this is for one event. I use bulk create to create posts for a year. Sky's the limit, really. ChatGPT comes in handy here. So with my Sunday affirmations, I did not sit there and come up with them. I'm not that creative. So this is where you can use ChatGPT to be like, I need 100 affirmations for small business owners, right? 100 affirmations for small business owners. And my friend here we go. Here's 100 affirmations for small business owners, right? So that makes it easy. Now what I don't recommend, well, let me stop. I am a control freak. So I'm not just going to take this list and repost it because chat goes crazy sometimes, right? You do need to edit. If you ask it to do quotes, which I've done, I double check every single quote because it makes up quotes and it makes up people. It is not fail proof, but to help get a head start, it can be great. And I know someone else will talk about AI, but this is just one way we use it for social media creation for ourselves, right? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you, you have a list of something. Again, it can be quotes, it can be whatever, it can be the stuff for speaker posts, whatever you wanna post about. So now we are gonna start the process of creating a bunch of posts. So we're gonna go back into Canva, and on the top left corner, we're gonna click Create. From there, you are going to choose Sheets. This is a new tool Canva added last year. You used to have to do this outside of Canva, so now that you can do it all in one place, it's even easier and more fun. So once you click on Sheets, you are just gonna get a spreadsheet like Excel or Google Sheets, whatever. And so what you want to do then, once you have your sheet, is you want to use the first line to add a title, like you would for any spreadsheet. And the title is going to be whatever you're going to include in your social media post. So for this one, I named it Entrepreneur Quotes, and below that I have some quotes. And then the next one is just who said it. Your title is not important in terms of what you name it. It's just important so you know how to use this data later. Everyone with me? Yeah. Okay. So I want to show you something really cool we're not going to use right now, but I discovered this last night and loved it. So because of AI and how crazy everything is, how they can make life easy. So I uploaded 2 quotes here last night. If I didn't want to do the work to find more quotes, I didn't want to use ChatGPT, what I could do is highlight my 2 columns with my information here, and I could go up here to this actions button, quick actions. Because remember, Canva has a lot of AI now too. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to go to this fill empty cells button. Oops. Fill empty cells. And do you see what it just did? It read my document here to know that I am looking for entrepreneur quotes. And it suggested other ones that I can insert right here without doing anything. Right? So that's a, yeah.
How did you get there?
Yeah. Let's delete there. Okay. So we've got our, you gotta title your columns so that AI can read it. And then we're just gonna highlight. Let's say we want a total of 10 rows, okay? So then we're gonna go up to the actions, the quick actions button here on the top. And we're gonna look for fill empty cells. It's automatically going to read the information that's in there and give you recommendations you can add, right? So you don't even need a multi-step process necessarily if you were doing something like affirmations or quotes where it's, you know, it's not relying on real data for your organization. This is just something fun, right? So then you can insert it, and now we have a spreadsheet full of quotes, really without leaving Canva. That's not really what we're doing today. We're gonna do one that's a little more intense, okay? So this is my spreadsheet for the social media posts. So this is our end goal. And this is where we're starting with a spreadsheet with a bunch of different information in it. Hopefully is that big enough?
Thank you.
Okay. Even on my screen, this is tiny, especially the photos. But again, you're just gonna use a spreadsheet like you would anywhere else, Google Sheets, Excel, whatever. You've got your title in line 1, and then your data below it. So, okay, so our business, let's see, this one is, let's go back here to Kelly, she's hosting us. Name is going to be Kelly Vida. What is her title? She's the owner of Empowered Mama Fitness and the co-owner of Zen Loft Collective here in Batavia. So we have that here on this line. What is her discussion topic? She's going to be doing a gentle movement session, and we have her photo here. Now, if you were to do this without Build Create, it's going to take you a lot of time. You're going to have to type this in, do it for every single post. But we are going to make that quicker. So one of the cool things here is in these spreadsheets, you can add photos. And if I click there, it makes the photo larger so we can actually see what it is. And I do want to show you, because this is a little newer, adding photos to a spreadsheet like that. So I'm going to go over here. I could go to let's go to our brand kit, right? So we can just drag a photo into the spreadsheet. This is my least favorite part, trying to get it where it's going to go. But you can drag anything into the spreadsheet. Everything is drag and drop now. Okay. So once you have your spreadsheet filled in here with the data that's going to go on all the images, here is another really cool feature. We are going to, well, you can see all of our photos here have a background, right? We don't want that because the template I've chosen here, they are cut out from their image. So what we are going to do, we are going to highlight our image column here. And then you'll see at the top that BG remover button appears. So if I click that here, it's going to automatically remove the background from all of those photos. In one click, we just did it for how many photos? 8 photos here, right? Can you do that again?
Where is that at?
So if you have them in your spreadsheet, and background remover is my favorite tool in Canva normally, but being able to do it both here is even better. So you're just going to highlight the row in your spreadsheet, and then right there at the very top, the background remover button appears because there are photos in our column. So if I were just here in a text column, it doesn't appear because there's no photos. But here, okay, Canva knows there's photos. We're going to hit background remover, and it's going to remove the background from all of those images one at a time.
Does it ever take out too much? Like even sometimes the AI does, like it'll knock out part of the face or.
I haven't had too many problems with that with Canva as long as there are humans. It doesn't work as well with like, if you want to remove the background of a product. But there are other Canva tools that do that better. I'm just not covering them today. Is everybody good on that? Okay. So once we have our spreadsheet and we have our images removed, or our background removed if that's what you want to do, here we go. We got the same thing. So here at the bottom of the screen, sometimes you're going to come in here and you're just going to see the spreadsheet. But if you click down here at the very bottom right, there's a little button that says Show Page Thumbnails. On the screen, it just says Pages right there. We want to click on that because what that's going to allow us to do, it's going to bring up another menu bar here. And this is going to allow us to use this spreadsheet, create our social media post right next to it without really leaving this screen. Okay, so we click that button and we can hide it or we can bring it back up. This button's a little tricky. Yeah.
Can you go back to that? Where did you find that?
It is on the very bottom of the page here. It just says Pages. It is not intuitive at all. So, but that is going to bring that up. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we have our page 1 here, which is our spreadsheet. Now we are going to click here. We want to add page type. So here you'll see that we can add a whole bunch of different type of posts. You can add another sheet. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But really what we're all doing is social media. So from here, I'm going to click on social media. It's going to say what kind of social media posts do you want, right? Because we are using this to create a social media post. I want to create an Instagram post. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How did you get to the options there?
So here it is one more time. You're going to click. Once we click here on Pages, this will appear. This is our spreadsheet, and then to add a new page type, we're going to look right next to it, this plus sign with a little caret. Again, I'm not the designer here, it's not very intuitive. Maybe just draw the pictures, plus caret, that's what you're looking for. When you click the caret, add page type, then the different types of documents you can add will appear. If you click on social media, like I said, we're going to create an Instagram post here. then you just click on Instagram post, and you'll see, now it is an empty Instagram post, but that's okay. So we can go back and forth. We've got our spreadsheet here. Takes a second to think. And we've got our blank Instagram post. So this is where templates are going to come in handy, right? We are just going to use a basic Instagram template, and I'm going to say that I want one for a speaker. And it knows what I'm talking about because it's all AI. You just put it in the little box there. But you could do quote. Cool, you're going to get lots of templates. You could scroll these templates forever. And hey, we just used this pink one. So piggybacking on what Jamie said, this is where using these templates is great, but you want to customize them to yourself, and that's where the brand kit's going to come in handy. So I'm going to go back to speaker. Let's see if I can find the one I want to use. Well, you can scroll there forever, and we'll just show. If you click on any template, it's going to fill in the whole thing, right? So normally what you do, I'm sure we've all used templates. If you used a template, then you're going to go in here now and change every last bit of it. You're going to make it look like yours. We're going to try to bypass most of that. So, just skipping ahead here. Here's the template I found. And some of it's not our colors. We don't use this blue color. We don't use this neon green. I have added some stuff here. But what you want to do before you think about merging is we are going to take the time and we are just going to upload, or sorry, we're not uploading. We are going to customize this template to fit our brand. We're going to do it once. It's going to work for every post, right? So whatever you don't like about this, go in there. Whatever template you use, go in there and change it. So I don't like colorful backgrounds. I always use white. Way. I don't like that blue. I want to go back and see my brand kit has showed up here on the left when I click on colors. So I'm going to use my obnoxious pink that I always use, right? So now everything's in my color there. We're going to change this obnoxious green. Let's make that the teal color we use. Now remember when we were naming our spreadsheet, we had to give every row a title. This is where the titles are going to come in handy, mainly because we want to make sure this is the information we're including on our document. So when we go back to the one we're customizing, okay, Samira here, that's going to be name. We're going to know that. I added title here. Why? Because when we, when we are going back and forth, title is what I gave, that's everybody's job title, right? So that's where I'm going to want it on the document. Topic, what they're going to talk about. So I added these in here. I already added the address. The address isn't something that's going to change when we use bulk create. Now, one more thing that we want to do, we do it on almost all of our posts, is we want to add our logo. This is a Start Something Studio event. So we've got our thing here. We're going to, on the left, we're going to see brand, right? Do you see the brand button there to the left? And as long as you are logged into your brand, everything's just going to show up right there, nice and easy for you. We're going to see all logos. It's lagging a little bit because I didn't restart it. Right, so that's not the one I want. Let's see, we want this white logo. It's not working as well as it should right now because I let all of it sit. But anyhow, let's pretend there's a logo there. and we'll go over to the one I already did, and you can see my logos there, the colors are there. I've updated the colors, the title, the topic, everything's there. So I'm going to say this template is complete. I'm ready to merge all of my information and get 8 different posts out of this. So what we are going to do here is, I'm gonna go back here. We're gonna go back to our spreadsheet, and we are going to highlight all of the cells that we are using, including the title. Does that make sense? Just draw the box around them. Everyone good there?
So on your template that you're going to use, how did I miss where you said it's going to link the name, title, discussion topic, photo?
That's what we're about to do.
Okay, great, sorry.
Yeah. To get there, that's the very next step, but just first start with highlighting all the data in your spreadsheet that needs to make it over to your document. Now up here in the top, again, there's this little actions button. It says quick actions where I'm highlighting it. We're gonna click there, and we're gonna scroll down till we see this bulk create button. Now you see the crown there, that does mean this is a pro feature. But all we're gonna do here is, we're gonna hope it all works, and we're gonna hit bulk create. So what this is going to do, it's going to confirm that the data we want to use is everything that we already highlighted in our box. See, you can double check that, but as long as you know how to highlight, you should be good. We're going to hit continue. Okay, so here, it's going to show you a bunch of designs. This is going to look maybe a little confusing. We want to ignore everything here on the bottom. We don't need it because we've already created our template in the same document. So we're just going to click this purple button that says continue with current design. Okay? So now what we have to do is connect all of our data. You know, I've already done this, but all you do is you click on something there. I can disconnect it all, then we'll go back and re-add it. Okay. So we know we have to do the name for everybody, right? So we're going to just click on the name option here, and we're going to click that button at the top that appears that says connect data. This only appears here because we've done all these other steps with our spreadsheet. If you don't have the spreadsheet and the data and you're not in the bulk create feature, you'll never see that. But we've done all of that work to get here, so we're going to hit connect data, and it's going to say, okay, we've got all of our data fields here on the left from our spreadsheet. Which data do you want to connect? Well, we know this is going to be the name field, and that's all you do. So now name is connected to name on here. We have title here, which I added here. So again, we're just going to click on title. We're going to click on connect data, and here's title. Let me disconnect this one. Okay, so the one thing is when you click here on photo, it's going to do the same exact thing, and photo is going to show up right there. You're going to click photo, and now everything is connected how we want it to be, based on our spreadsheet and what we want to appear here. So one final thing, we're going to click on advanced options here at the very bottom before we create our designs. You don't have to do this. It is nice because you can tell it what you want to receive. So you can receive 8 individual designs, which means you will get 1 new page for every design you create. Or you can say, I want 1 design with multiple pages. So since I'm gonna publish all of these to social media in the same post, I just want one design with all these pages. Really, it depends on your use case, right? You can name each page using your columns. That's not very important, but you can do it. And now we are going to hit create design. And this is where we just see all the magic happen. You can see it happened right there. A new tab or a new column appears that says design. And you can see there are links here.
You said one design with multiple pages? Is that what you did? Okay.
Yeah. So now when I click here, all right, show me what we created. This is one design with multiple pages, so we can scroll through, they're all on the same page. So you're gonna say, well, that looks kind of crazy. Yeah, we need to go through and we do need to edit these a little bit, right? We don't want her looking crazy. We need to make sure on Kelly has a long title, so we're gonna move that down a little bit. But we are gonna get all of these posts really in the time it took you to get your spreadsheet and find your template. From here, once you've just made sure nothing looks too crazy, you can just download these and upload them to social media. If you have Instagram connected to Canva, you can just push publish from here, really. All right. Yeah.
Do you suggest finding the template first so that you can create your sheet with specific heading fields, or does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. If you feel more comfortable with that, that's fine. Because Canva's gonna save your information here anyhow when you create pages, you know, there's no time limit. You can scroll forever at templates if you want to.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, I just meant when you're, because the template you showed did have the heading fields that you picked for your spreadsheet. And so sometimes the templates don't work out like
They
that.
don't. You will want to add that.
Okay.
That's where so here, the text you put here, I added that. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just signifying to me, I'm going to connect data here, and this is the line I want to be there.
Okay.
Anyone else?
What would it do if you did multiple? What was the other option instead of many
Yeah.
designs, one feature, or would
It
it
will-
just select a template for you? Or
No, all that's going to do is, let me leave this here. It will still, we still have our template here, right? So if you want to connect them, we'll create, we've got our data. If we don't change, create current design, in the advanced options, if we don't change it to one design, all it's gonna do is 8 designs were created. So now if I click on this, then we're just gonna get Megan, right? So then we'd have to go back and grab the link here so we could get Kelly. So it's still gonna make them all, they're just going to all these separate documents. Which you might wanna do, like, if you were going to do these, let's say you wish your employees a happy birthday or something like that, you wanna have it done for the year, then maybe you do it like this, one at a time, so that you can save it as Kelly's birthday post, so it's done. And then you can just download, upload when it's time for that. Any other questions? Yeah.
Can you go back and show kind of how you did the linking? I kind of lost it, had it, and can't keep it.
Yeah. So you have your template, and again, this can be, I'll go back here and So now we've got a whole new template here. It's crazy looking, so I'm gonna add my favorite pink. But now we've got a name here, we've still got a photo, we've got some stuff we can connect here, right? Just a different looking template. And I didn't really name anything. You don't necessarily have to name anything to make this work. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our spreadsheet here. We're still going to highlight everything, including the column titles. And we're gonna go to actions at the top and bulk create. When we do that, the first thing it's just gonna say, make sure your data here is correct. So if you didn't already highlight it, you could fix that, whatever. This is the easiest way. We're gonna continue with our current design because we've already got a template here. Okay, so now we've got the connecting part. So we want to connect names. So here, Jamie Chastain, we're just going to click on that box, and we're going to go to the top button here that says Connect Data.
But you're in that.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, so Connect Data, for this, we are just going to click Name. So everyone's name is going to fill into this section. Let's say this box under here, we want that to be our title. So we're going to connect data, and we're going to do title. Now again, the data fields are the titles that you created in the spreadsheet. So they could be anything. These are just the names I used. I mean, you could use numbers. As long as you know what's going in there, that's all that matters. And then we want to do our photo, right? So we're going to connect data. We're going to do photo. Now, because this is still the original template here, we could go ahead and enter our own URL. That just means that's going to show up on every one we create here. Okay? So, actually, let's do some more pink for good measure. Okay, so now we are ready to create our designs. So again, I'm going to go to advanced options because I want one design with multiple pages. I don't want to end up with 8 pages of design, a new page for each design. And then we're just going to click Create Design. All right, so now if we open that link, then it's taken the data we have and it's created a new post for everyone. Now again, some of these, like Courtney here, we'd want to edit, but you always want to edit. This is just make sure it looks how you want it to. Canva gets a lot of it right, like most of these look better than my other template, but just make sure everything works how you want it to. And then you can just share, download, and these are ready to go. Do you want me to show you one more? We have a couple minutes with quotes. Would that be beneficial?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back here. What?
I just, like, I got everywhere, but then I lost the, where it actually
Okay.
merits.
All right, so here we'll go back to our entrepreneur quotes. Again, Canva filled in some of these using that tool, so personally, I wouldn't use these as is, but for this, it's fine. Okay, so what we are going to do is at the bottom of the page here, we're going to click this Pages button from our spreadsheet. Again, that's down here, not intuitive at all. Show page thumbnails. And when we get here, we're gonna have the option to add a page type, and we wanna do social media. Again, play around with that, it can be anything. Again, I'm just gonna do an Instagram post, and now we have our blank Instagram post here. We are gonna look for a template. Let's say we want a quote with flowers. Why not? Okay, so you can type whatever you want to in there, and we're gonna put her in there. Okay, so this is just a template. All I did was look for a template and say I want a quote with flowers. Okay? So from here, you just want to do a little zhuzhing. So not that kind of zhuzhing. You just want to make it your own, right? So we would say that start something, studio. Okay, we're going to make that a little bigger. It's not going to let me change the background, but what we can do here is, here's a more general use of the background remover. So we went from that ugly pink color, and now we just have a white background. So from there, what you could do is, you could go in here, you can add your favorite hot pink, and then you could expand it, right? However you want to make this your own. So now that we have a template we want to use, what we're going to do is we are going to go back to our spreadsheet, which is right here. It's in, the tabs are right next to each other. So we're going to go to our spreadsheet, and we are going to highlight all the information. We're going to drag the cursor over everything we want to appear in our post. Right, so once we have that, we're going to go up here to Quick Actions. We're going to click Bulk Create. And it's just going to confirm that you've already highlighted the data you want. Good, we're going to continue with current design because I already have my template there. And now what we want to do is, again, connect the data. So here, I'm not going to say who said it necessarily. That'll take more time. You know you can add that, but we've got this weird surprise the girls in your life with flowers just because. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to say connect data, and we want to connect that to our entrepreneur reports. Okay, so even though I'm not connecting who said it, this is still going to work. We just need some sort of connected information there. So now I'm going to say create 10 designs. It's going to think for a second, and then remember I didn't go in and say one page with 10 designs. So this actually created 10 designs for us, where now we have our little flower post with the quote on the gift tag. And again, this is not really a great background, but if you were doing one quote post a month, maybe you use the same background. This is a Valentine's post. I wouldn't use that one. But you can also change it up. You know, what I did when I did our affirmation posts is I created 4 different spreadsheets. I have 4 different templates. So a quarter of the affirmations went on one spreadsheet, put those on one design, a quarter on the other, so that I ended up with 4 different designs. It didn't really take that much longer. It just allowed me to mix up the background so I could get a year's worth of posts without them all being identical. All right, and yeah.
So just back to the spreadsheet part, that's where you have to begin. And are you creating that strictly from ChatGPT, or are you putting in your own? I'm a little confused on that.
Whatever you want to put in there.
Okay.
So this one with the quotes, I had added 2, and then we used Canva AI to add some more.
Okay.
But you can add, so if I go back over to,
Like we talked about the review posts, so you'd be pulling your reviews, right? Because this would be a super easy way to do that.
Yeah.
So you'd be
Okay.
going to your Google reviews, you'd be copying those, putting those into your spreadsheet, right?
Okay.
And then that way it's populating with all your own information. Those things that Lisa showed are the really simple way for us to go, we want to make a ton of posts at one time, and I don't want to have to think too much about it, right? So she used the AI directly in Canva, which pulled some things. Obviously, just like ChatGPT, you want to double check those. And then Chat was where she was able to go, I want 100 of these, and it pulled all those, so you can pull those over too. So you can do whatever you want.
Gotcha.
And if you were doing your reviews, you might do 2 columns, review in one column and name of reviewer in another column. Yeah.
Our organization uses, all of our templates are in PowerPoint, and they're like stuck. So can we, and we're not supposed to use Canva, but this would be so much easier. Can we pull the PowerPoint template and upload it into Canva and then go from there?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Will it pull the colors from PowerPoint to tell us what the colors are if we get the color extensions?
Yeah. Yeah, Canva allows you to upload anything now. You can even edit PDFs in there. You can do anything.
And then
Canva Pro, not the free Canva. Yeah.
It look like most features, when you go to all these alternatives, they want you to sign up for the pro or the business plan. Is there much you can do for the free plan or not?
Basic designs at this point.
I mean, really basic. I mean, it seems
Really
like everything says upgrade to this or that.
Yeah. And Canva, I think Katie would agree, is one of the best business expenses we have. It's like $120 a year or something for us to use it, and we do all of our social media, all of our design, everything through it at this point. So it's a great business tool.
How many seats do you get with
At least me, Jamie, Ellen. I think we get 5, but don't quote me on that.
for the pro, yeah.
Because they tried to take it all away, then they gave it all back, so. But right now, we're still at the same price, and our whole team can use it. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a comment and then I have a question. Comment first was, well, 2 comments then. Thank you for all of this because this is amazing. Second comment is, it sounds like there's a lot of nonprofits in here, and I just want to remind everybody, if you're a nonprofit, Canva Pro is free. So make sure you get that. The question I had now for Canva is there a way to set your text boxes so that it will automatically size for the space you want to fill? Like if I'm putting together, I got in my sheets, I got slides where I've got like, monthly tips and then a short description. I want my header at the top of each one. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. I set it so it auto sizes.
That's where the work comes in. We saved you all the other tips.
Well, it's good to know
You just
that
have to
last time
zoom
I
in,
did it
zoom out.
individually, I wasn't
Yeah,
like wasting
no.
time, so.
So it said it's 5, you can have 5 people on the pro version.
Yeah. And honestly, Heather, I wouldn't be shocked if that's something they add.
They should.
I mean, they're always adding, so.
Thank you.
Any last questions before we wrap up? Only to stay on time. I know we could probably spend another hour here. This has been amazing. I mean, really high level. So hopefully that those who haven't used Canva could, catch up. But if you have any questions, reach out to Jamie or Lisa. I know
There's
they'd be
Jamie's
willing
email address
to
again.
help you and connect you. This is a 3-part series. So this first one, the whole 3-part series for social media. This is number 1. The next one is going to be session 2, February 19th. It will be on post smarter, not louder. So definitely building on this with your Canva, making good use of your time, making it efficient and productive. Does anybody have any last comments before we wrap up today? I appreciate you all being here out in the cold at 8 a.m. So we'll see you next time. Heather, do you have a comment?
Yeah, the second one is February 19th. What day is it?
February 19th?
It's a Thursday.
It's really fast.
Yeah, I think it's the first week in March. You know what?
First week, yeah.
It's a Thursday.
I'll follow up with you and let you know.
March 5th.
We'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure that you have all 3 dates. Before I let you go, I want to let you know about an exciting new promotion that the Chamber is doing for, well, the drawings will be in March, but we're unveiling right now our Pot of Gold raffle. Thank you to Garage 31 and Red Hive Market for helping us promote it.
Garage 31 is kicking our ass.
They are. The competition is fierce. But what it is a chance to win daily cash. We're doing a daily cash raffle drawing. The dollar amount will be between $100 or $1,000. You have the chance to win. Each ticket is only $10, so easy to participate. What we love is that the funds that we're gonna generate out of this are gonna go to the scholarship fund for the high school students so that we can give scholarships to those that'll make a difference in our future. So go to our website, the QR code's there, stop by Red Hive, Garage 31. We have other businesses participating too, but these two are present, so I have to give them their props. And then they'll get an incentive or a prize package too, whoever sells the most amount of tickets. So super fun. I want you guys all to be a part of it. And again, thank you so much, Lisa. Amazing. Thank you for your expert knowledge. Thank you, Jamie. It was wonderful to have you both present. If you guys need anything, reach out to us at the chamber. We're always here to help. Thanks. Have a great